Hello my loves, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new. Hi, hello, my name is Loey, and boy oh boy, these back-to-back videos just can't seem to stop. I thought, honestly, after Halloween, I was done for a while. I definitely needed to step back and kind of regroup to post every day for Vlogmas, but it is just a crazy time of year, I guess. I was gonna say in my line of work, but spooky things, I guess, aren't really a line of work. I don't know, it's just, I feel like a lot of the stories and a lot of the things that I follow and talk to you guys about have just been crazy lately. And that's why tomorrow there's gonna be a Dear David update, but today there is a Teletubbies Fact Part 2. I had done the world's briefest update and kind of like a spooky Halloween vlog where I talk about other things, but honestly my head wasn't really in like the conspiracy theory mindset, if that makes any sense. I wasn't really thinking about other small things that I had seen that had been uncovered. I just talked about some creepy messages I was getting from one account in particular. But the Teletubbies Fact story has really taken back off after today when I'm filming this, but yesterday for you guys, November the 1st. Dave has been promising something on November 1st since pretty much the beginning of the story, and actually Sharon's final tweet on the Sharon Teletubby account was November 1st. That was something I totally forgot to mention in my first video, and we've had a lot of hype for November 1st, but I kind of thought, to be perfectly honest with you, after my last video, as much as I was like, you know, maybe the story is still going, there were some clues that he was still in character, and the person who runs the account, I believed that everything was still part of the story. I honestly just kind of thought the story was over, and I, along with a lot of other people, kind of just assumed this started out as a joke and then got way out of hand. I still kind of think in some regards that Teletubbies Fact is a story that's kind of being made up as it goes along, but I did want to do this update because I do really enjoy the story. I'm really kind of excited with where we are. I spent like 2 hours today like trying to code or decode something from this update that I'm gonna give you guys. That to me is a sign of a great story, and that is the sign of something that is fascinating and interesting, and I know that you guys love the Teletubbies backstory. I mean, I get tweets about it and messages about it on a daily basis. I get so many fake accounts, fake Teletubbies Fact accounts messaging me all the time wanting to be in on the fun. And what's cool to me is kind of seeing that on a daily basis and thinking, it's so bad that the Teletubbies Fact story is over and I won't get anything from like the real account, and it's not over at all, even though it might seem to be by the end of this video. Everything seemed to start back up, and I did not see any official tweets from the account between pretty much my last update, or my first video really, and yesterday, October 31st, when I'm filming this. On October 31st, in the middle of the night, Dave tweeted 11:01. The tweet went out around 9:01 my time, but actually I think that it was tweeted at exactly 12:01 Eastern Standard Time. He's been hinting at 11:01 for a while now, so this wasn't really a surprise, but the tweet went down almost instantly. Something that not as many people caught, and one of you guys actually sent to me via Twitter. This was so cool because it feels like we're detectives and you guys are in on the case with me, and you were the ones sending me a lot of this evidence and stuff last night. But Dave really quickly, I mean so fast, almost nobody caught it. He tweeted a picture of like a bloody hand or something. It was just like something really gory and creepy. It kind of looked like a smiley face and no real explanation behind it. It was so fast, it was unbelievable. And then today we got some final updates. Today the story was concluded, but not really. So I want to backtrack a little bit. Back to when I talked about how there was a tweet on the Teletubbies Fact account and it was in binary code. So many of you guys had tweeted me and told me that that deleted tweet spelled out resurrection in binary code. And at the time I thought it was just something kind of creepy and weird, but now I think it makes a lot of sense. 6 hours ago, this was tweeted out from the Teletubbies Fact account, and I'm just gonna read it to you and then we'll dissect. My name is Kevin Sampson. I am the last living child of Gary Sampson, you probably know him as David Hutchinson, and Sharon Sampson. Both of my siblings, Katie and Aiden, were murdered by my dad. Police never caught him because everyone assumed this was a joke. I have no idea what he's done with their bodies, but all I know is that this has been extremely traumatic for me. Me and my dad both share birthdays. Today I turned 14 and my dad would have been 37. Our lives have been so secluded for the last 5 years that our home in Salina, Utah, Sevier County, is in the middle of the woods. I am the oldest of the siblings. Katie was 10 and Aiden was only 6. My dad, before he died last Wednesday, was talking to me about his multiple personality disorder. He never really knew he was, and he never really knew he was. He never really knew he was, I don't get that. And he couldn't take it anymore. He told me he was going back to Vail, Colorado, where he was born, to talk to one of his many therapists, who all had no idea what he's done. He came back Wednesday night and told me to go in the living room with him. He told me about his Teletubbies account and how popular it was. He then gave me access to the account. Immediately after, he pulled out a gun. He told me I had 2 options, to watch him shoot himself with my own eyes, or he would shoot me and then himself. I was forced to watch my dad kill himself. It's been an entire week since then, and I'm guessing this is what my dad was planning to do. Have me announce his suicide on his 37th birthday from his account November 1st. I don't have any social media and don't plan to. I can only try my best to live a normal life after what's happened and put all of this behind me. You all know who my dad truly was now. I don't know how to work Twitter much or if I can delete the account, so I'll just leave it all be. Sorry if I upset anyone. That's it. No further tweets, no further responses, no anything. And it kind of seems like the story got out of hand and it's just been wrapped up in a neat little bow, but there's a lot more to that note than meets the eye. First and foremost, I want to quickly point out that the kid, Kevin, said that his dad was Gary Sampson and his wife was Susan Sampson. In the police note that was posted on Sharon's account, it was said that her name was Sharon Hutchinson and her children were Aiden Hutchinson as well as Katie Hutchinson. But suddenly his name is Sampson, and people were really quick to point out there actually was a man named Gary Sampson with a P, not just Samson, but Sampson, who killed his 3 children. So maybe this was some sort of homage to that, who knows. But it stands that if we're following that Sharon's account was taken over by the police, so to speak, in this story, then something isn't quite right here because suddenly their names are Sampson and not Hutchinson. So there's some sort of discrepancy here. Whether this kid is coming forward and saying that his dad ran the entire thing, which is not what he's saying. He's just said that his dad ran the one account. Someone's lying here because, you know, their names are Sampson, and then over on the other account, their names are Hutchinson, and Dave Hutchinson legally had his name changed to David Hutchinson. So I don't know. It just doesn't seem like this was actually written by the 3rd kid. I do think that it's extremely interesting that I made a point to say in the last video how there was a 3rd child that Dave had mentioned in a tweet. And suddenly there is a 3rd kid and they've taken over the account. I almost wonder if he watched my video, and if he did, hi. The next interesting thing that I noticed was how many numbers there were sprinkled throughout this note that was posted by the son, Kevin. It just seemed strange. Like there were just a lot of numbers and seemingly for no reason. How he mentioned that he was 14 and that his dad would have been 37, how he repeats how old his dad is. He talks about how old his brother and sister are. There's references to November the 1st. Last 5 years, 2 options, the number 2. Just seemed a little fishy. And so at first I thought this was some kind of code, since Dave has previously used binary code in order to write resurrection. So I was trying to decode it myself using a method where the letters of the alphabet coordinated to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1 being A, 2 being B, so on and so forth. It didn't make any sense. I tried translating it to Russian and it didn't make any sense because, you know, Dave has tweeted a lot in Russian. It just seemed like it was going nowhere and I thought maybe I was overreacting. And then someone tweeted me that if you take every number that is in that letter, it adds up to 112, 112, or November 2nd. That is really coincidental, and I knew that there was a reason. I could tell it wasn't just by chance that those numbers were in there. It just seemed really strange for all of those details to be in that letter. So yeah, 112 November 2nd, which makes me wonder if something else is coming the day that you guys are seeing this video. My cat Kiki is down here, so if you see like black shadow, that's what it is. Another interesting point to this is, you want to tell me a 14-year-old kid doesn't have social media, or at the very least doesn't know how to turn off Twitter. I can get if their lives were like super secluded or something, but it just seems a little bit far-fetched. Dave had tweeted resurrection in binary code. So does that mean that Dave really isn't dead, or that he's coming back somehow? Another thing a lot of people had mentioned to me was that the Teletubbies bot account I had mentioned in the last video as one of the very few accounts that Sharon Teletubby followed tweeted again, "Time for Tubby, bye-bye." I feel like the amount of times I'm saying the word Teletubby in this video makes it not as scary as it really is, but it's just so weird. If we listen to and believe what Kevin, the kid, is saying in this note, that means that Dave was gone and dead before last night when 11:01 was tweeted from the Teletubbies account with all of that weird, like, cryptic kind of background noise in it. If Dave is dead, who tweeted that? It just doesn't seem like, a lot of people were saying like, what a weird way to wrap up this story, like I guess it's just done now. But I don't think so, because if that was the truth, it would have just been posted without that weird 11:01. You know what I mean? If the son has taken over the account, he wouldn't have just done that. So it makes me think that something else is coming. And honestly, I was so disappointed to think that the story was over, but now I really, really don't. All right, so next thing I wanted to mention was that there is a Dave Hutchinson account, a Dave Hutchinson YouTube channel. I don't know if this is canon. I don't know if it's related to this story that we're following. According to a lot of people, the YouTube channel had a previous name and a lot of weird videos on it. And then people were like, is this related to TeletubbiesFact? The channel suddenly deleted all of the videos and now it's under Dave Hutchinson and there are new videos. I can't vouch for how real or not real that this is. And I'm telling you, there are so many fake accounts out there and so many fake accounts that you guys have brought to my attention, not sure if they were real or not. Until it comes from the account itself, I'm not believing anything. And that's why this YouTube channel, I can't fully believe it. My cat is really concerned about Demon Dog. No, oh, you do like it. You're gonna lay down with it. Oh, she does like it. She's gonna lay down. Regardless, I'm gonna go ahead and play some of the videos now. They're not quite to the level of creepy that the previous ones that I posted in the original video were, but they are creepy nonetheless. So here you go. Speaking of videos, by the way, someone had pointed out that the song that I talked about that was reversed in one of the videos from my original video is actually called Dave's Song from this band, and I'll post a screenshot, but that is an interesting thing. He had just posted it backwards, I guess. Weird. Really, 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 really weird. And if you want to know my general thoughts on the entire subject, I am dissecting this and following this story way too closely for my own sanity. I think that this is fascinating. I'm so happy that the story is still going. You guys seem to love this. So I'm really, really, really glad I can keep making videos on it for you guys. And I hope and pray this isn't the end, but I don't think that it could be. There are too many questions. Why was Kevin left alive? And who tweeted 11:01 then if David/Gary has been dead this whole time? Where are the bodies? Like, he had specifically talked about how everyone was dead in the basement and how he couldn't keep doing this. I think this is just more of the story wrapped up into this, and I don't know if Kevin is even a real character. I think that this might just be Dave trying to mislead us. I know he came forward and said his name is Gary. I'm gonna keep calling him Dave because that's what I know him as. That's really all I have to report to you guys. Have there been some interesting fake account messages that I've gotten? Of course, you guys should see my DMs on Twitter. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, I don't want to sensationalize those and make them part of the story, because while I'm telling you guys this and while we're kind of decoding the story together, at the end of the day, it's not my story. It is the owner of TeletubbiesFact story. It's their story. I'm not going to add things into the mix and try to make things canon or part of the, you know, like lore and creepypasta if they're not. So to all of these accounts, you don't have to stop. They're creepy. They're weird messages. In fact, I got one last night about someone saying, they literally said, "Hi, guess where I am," with just like a black picture. And I'm not gonna lie, it gave me the goosebumps, but I know it's not part of this actual story. So feel free to keep it up. I think it's really interesting and it's kind of something fun to tide me over in between updates. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this impromptu update. I literally like wasn't gonna do anything today but clean my house and edit videos, and I got ready and sat down and filmed just because of this. So I hope you all enjoyed. Tomorrow there will be a Dear David update, so we are just back to back with these viral scary stories. If you guys have any more stories like this that you're interested in me talking about, just make sure to list them for me somewhere. Make sure to send me a message on Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, just so I can check them out. I think that these are so interesting, and I'm gonna be sad when Dear David and this one like eventually wrap up because it's just so much fun to talk about. But anyways, I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until the next video, I love you all so much, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.